Welcome to the Courtroom Chronicles Trials of South Africa. Today is the day that we all have been waiting for. After 35 days, we were looking forward to this day, and it has come, guys. It has come. I was nervous. I've been thinking about this day for a while, and finally today it came. And I just want us to get right into it. Class, please settle down. Settle down, because today's lesson is how to sell your child and end up with life imprisonment 101. Who is the teacher? Judge Nathan Charles Erasmus. And the case study is Joshlin Smith, of course. We were in class today, guys. I felt like I was in a class. I've been studying for the whole year. And today, the teacher told us the case study is Joshlin Smith. And we are doing a revision, preparing for an examination. So I want us to go through this chapter by chapter, reminding each other of what happened in this trial. So you might think that you've seen cases before, but this one, guys, the first of its kind. Ushilu Miswanepo, she told us that we have never seen a case like this where we do not have the victim to speak and tell us what had happened. We have a case here, there's no child, and there are so many stories that we've had, two versions for that matter, but we don't know where the child is. And, we see this, it went straight from a social worker's desk to a packed courtroom. And it went faster than Miss Kelly danced her way through March. So that's where it started. The teacher decided to start with us in the social worker's desk. He took us down through this thing. He went with us and took us where Miss Smith was dancing her way. And he gave us facts and leading to the verdict that he gave us today. So the judgment day, the lesson begins, guys. Judge Erasmus started the judgment like a strict exam marker. People who mark exams, they're very strict. And he basically said, let's go through Kelly's mind map, step by step. I want you to go with me. She didn't want to speak. Yes, it's her right not to speak. Section 35 is there for that. If you don't know what Section 35 is and you're watching this for the first time, please refer to our videos that we have spoken about before. And he says, okay, it's her right to keep quiet. But I just want us to go back and see that her silence didn't help her at all. If you keep silent, there are consequences to that. And he says that she is loud as hell, and her actions, they all did the talking. We don't need her. We do need her actually to say something, but she decided to do it, to keep quiet. So let's break it down like you are revising for finals. The final examination is here, guys. And we are starting with chapter 1. The plan to traffic Joshlin wasn't pulled from thin air. He's saying to us, it's not something that people talked about yesterday and then they did it today. He says to us, Mr. Apollos backed the money talk in his statement. He says also, Mr. Van Rijn and Mr. Coetzee confirmed the events on the 19th. Money, microwave, and the whole shady exchange. He says this man doesn't have ulterior motives. He's just an evangelist. This evangelist said that he met this woman at a funeral and he had seen her before because they all come back from Namakwaland. And now, upon seeing her again on this cold day in August, she wasn't wearing like someone who's wearing for a weather that is cold. And when they spoke, she told him about this plan, that she's frustrated. Upon asking why she was frustrated, at first this woman just kept quiet, but then went to talk about the 20,000, went on and talked about her frustrations and how people have disappointed her. And she wants to get rid of these kids. And it will be a thing like a movie scene. So he's saying, Judge Erasmus, why would this poor man think of such a thing? What will he gain? What is his motive for doing that? And he didn't know about the arrest. He didn't know about a lot of things. This was in August the previous year, before such and such a thing happened. So why would he just lie for no reason? And then he takes us to Mr. Gongota and Mr. Goas, that they also say, yeah, we heard of that stuff too. So he says that's the corroboration. He said, Miss Lombard, the state witness, her story wasn't floating on its own. So it was anchored by others. That's what the judge told us. So basically, the judge was saying to us, Miss Lombard wasn't singing a solo, guys. She was in a choir. You know, when people say, when you're singing alone, this thing of yours, as the other defenses have said, that she's a single witness. There's no one to corroborate what she was saying. So judge says, no, she didn't sing a solo. She was actually in the choir. And judge moves with us to the delivery in chapter 2 of the revision class. He says whether Joshlin was dropped in a polo, whether she was dropped at Umaga Lima's house, he said we might not have the CCTV footage. Remember when I spoke about beyond reasonable doubt? So he's addressing that okay, we don't have a CCTV handover, but the whole situation screams one thing, and that thing is that you planned it, you had a motive, and you handed her over like a commodity, like she was is something that was sold. You handed this poor child, this child that looks up to you as a mother, that you will raise her in the right way, and all that you did, you just handed the child over to someone, and for what, we don't know. And he said something that was important to me. He said that actually Miss Smith did say the reason. She did tell us the reason why she did this. And guess who she told? She told Mr. Kutia and told Apollos that I want to get rid of this child because this child, Miss Andrews, the family that Kelly, Joshlin Smith would go to for holidays, would go to on weekends, the family that wanted to actually adopt this poor child, this beautiful green-eyed child, is that family wanted to take this child and take her in like family, but the parents would always change the story. So Kelly Smith, this was a kind of a nuisance, something that was bothering her. Why does she want to take this child? So I must get rid of this child. And she said the reason. And there's one thing that I'm thinking about now that is coming back to me right now, is that Mr. Kutsier, Judge Erasmus, he described Joshlin the day that they met. That she had the most beautiful green eyes. Well, and how would he have known that if really they don't know each other with Miss Smith? And like she said, that that guy doesn't know him know her from a bar of soap. He just wanted to be famous, and he was using this situation to do that. And she forgot that she's the one who told us that her child has made her famous, not once, not twice, but numerous times. So, and then Judge, you just handed over this child, and he said, listen to this, and this one hits hard. He said, Joshlin was treated like a product, not a person, a product to be sold. And chapter 3, he tells us about the conduct now. Now, this part is spicy. I need you to come a little bit closer and hear it. Judge says, did you care when your child disappeared? No, you didn't. And I'll tell you why. He said, because first of all, you charged your phone. People were waiting for you outside to go and look for your child, but when you were charging your phone. Secondly, you danced. You danced. It wasn't a concert there. It was a prayer meeting when you spoke about the Temple Boys being your child's favorite and you were dancing, And he also mentions the other one that I've also mentioned in my previous videos. It was like I was watching him going through something that I've studied, And he says, and when you went to sleep at Miss Ziga's, you slept like a baby while she was not sleeping because she was worried about your own child. Said you didn't search, you didn't scream, you didn't cry. So the judge said, there's a time to stay silent. But staying silent when your child is being trafficked, that silence has consequences. He's speaking about Section 35, that you guys, we're waiting that you will tell us something, but you decided to take Section 35 to keep quiet, and but I'll tell you there are consequences for that. Then he came to chapter number 4. Then came the real lesson and the sentencing warm-up. As he was going through it, I could see that this is just guilty, 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 guilty. I saw Mrs. Narayan sitting like this. I saw Miss Mkabai sitting like this, trying to write notes. I said, this one, it's guilty. And I looked at the live chats on the side. People were just saying, game over, game over. And I saw it too. And he says, on count 1, you are guilty. Trafficking under Section 401. We are going to explain what Section 401 is. You know me. I love to explain these terms. And then he said, count 2, you are guilty of kidnapping. All of you are. And the crowd just started clapping, guys. They couldn't control themselves, although judge, when he started, he asked that please be quiet until we get finished with everything. And I think the crowd just lost it and started clapping. Hey, guys, if I tell you what I saw there, they were clapping. And then Stefano laughed, guys. He was smiling. I don't know, that guy has a funny bone or something, because this is not the first time we've seen him laughing. You know, when you have a funny bone in a very serious situation and you can't help it but laugh. I don't know whether he doesn't care or he's used to being in jail, because there's something that we saw. I'll explain it now. And he just started laughing, and I was like, Aibo, what is this guy laughing at? Because they're being sentenced right now, and people are clapping because they are happy that this is happening. And judge shut it down quickly. He said, this is court, it's not a comedy show. He basically said, please keep it down. I understand, but keep it down. Then came the bombshell. On Friday, I'm giving you life. You might get life. That's what he said. Said, go home. And I need you to go to prison. Anyway, not home. No one went home. Said, I need you to go back and think about what happened today and give instructions to the defense. Let them know if you want witnesses to come, if there are things that you want fixed here. Because, and I know you're going to appeal, but you might face life. He told them straight, and he didn't cut corners. Told them straight that, that is it. And the accused, he asked that the accused, he said on Friday, count 1, count 2, guilty, guilty, guilty today. And then, so today we're just given the verdict. I'll explain that and what will happen on Friday. So he asked that, I'm asking you, let the accused be taken out. The police must do their job. And then you can humiliate or you can clap hands. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, before they went out, people were taking pictures. They took out their phones. They were clapping. People were happy that we got a guilty verdict like we wanted to. And, people were chanting, justice for Joshlin, justice for Joshlin. We don't know where the child is, but I've got some sort of relief. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comment section. And that is what I got. And before I conclude, on my last video, I was watching myself. I think I concluded 4 or 5 times. You know, when preachers said, coming to a conclusion, as I end the sermon, I felt like that because I said I'm concluding 4 times. And luckily today, I didn't say it. I'm only saying it now. As we come to a conclusion, I just want us to explain what Section 401 is. Section 401, family. Imagine this is like a big school rule book called Section 401. And one of the scary rules in that book says, this is Section 401. You are in huge trouble for selling a person like they're a toy or item. So this is what Judge Erasmus today spoke about. He used Section 401. He said, that's what human trafficking is. It's treating someone like they can be bought or sold. This is what they did to Joshlin. And that's what the judge said the accused did to little Joshlin. It's heartbreaking, guys. It's heartbreaking, you know. I've tried to water this trial down. Sometimes I'll use metaphors, I'll use wigs, because it was heavy in my heart. And I wanted us to talk about it, but also in a way, forget about it a little while and use stews and what and all those other things that I've used, because it's a very heartbreaking subject. And I want to also explain, I think that explains what 401 is. You can't use people like toys and you sell them and just give them away like they did. So that's what he was doing. He was talking about with Section 401. And then today we got the verdict. Did they do it or not? And today the judge said they did it. They are guilty of that. So that's what happened today. He read out the verdict, which means I've looked at the evidence and I'm telling you whether you are guilty or not. And today the judge said, yes, you are guilty of human trafficking, Section 401. Yes, you are guilty of kidnapping Joshlin. So imagine the guy saying, you broke the rules, I caught you, and now you are in big trouble. That's what happened today. So the sentencing is, it's now the big punishment. If you didn't know what the difference is between a verdict and sentencing, I'm explaining it to you. I, for one, didn't know. I thought it's the same thing, verdict and sentencing. I thought it's one thing. So now I'm explaining for those who don't know. If you know, the video ends here for you. But for those who don't know and would like to know, I'm explaining. So sentencing, it's what didn't happen yet. The judge didn't say how many years he's gonna give them, but he hinted that it could be life. He'll do that on Friday, and when the real you getting X years of life moment will drop, we'll hear it on Friday. So in short, guys, today it was the verdict, guilty or not guilty. On Friday, it's sentencing, what punishment they will get. So yes, the revision for this class today ends here, guys. And as the viewers, I would like to know, do you think life imprisonment is the right sentence for someone who sells a child? Why and why not? I would also like you to tell me what do you think about witness, Section 204 witness, aka Miss Lombard, the first person who told me what witness 204 is. I didn't know. I'm not a person who follows these things. This was my first case that I started from beginning to end. And I must say, I'm proud of myself, guys. Thank you very much for the kind words that you always sending me. People say I'm talented. I should look into this. I should maybe think of getting a law degree. Some of you have said that I must not underestimate my intelligence. Thank you very much for those words. They mean a lot to me, and thank you so much. So I want you to imagine something about witness 204, Laurentia Lombard. So in the beginning, they said, imagine you're in big trouble. Ne? I'm telling people that don't know witness 204. For others, if you've been watching my videos, you know what this means. So it's a revision also for you. You saw everything. The court says, okay, help us to get the baddies, the people that have done this, because you were there, Tina, we were not there. We might not punish you if you tell the truth. Laurentia Lombard is that person now who said, ma'am, I'll tell the truth. Remember that video that I did where we spoke about that, Witness 204. If you haven't watched it, please go back and watch it. And then now section 204 of the Criminal Procedure Act says Laurentia Lombard walks free. That's the deal she made under section 204. That's how it works. She agreed to testify honestly and to help the state prove the case. The judge today didn't talk much about her or what will happen about her, but that's what section 204 means. And when they say you get full indemnity, it's just a fancy word to say you are off the hook. So yeah. So yes, she's free, no jail, no conviction. I don't know if we'll hear about her in the future, but that is the deal. When you get that deal, that's what it means. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I followed this case from the 3rd of March, and today is the 2nd of May. I've been going with you through it. I started this channel on the 3rd of April, and after a month of watching the trial. And I'm hoping we are still going to be with each other, look at other cases, learn a lot of things, the legal jargon, things that you don't understand. I've got plans, and with God's grace, I think I'll execute those plans in connection with this channel. I think for me today, this whole trial was very emotional. I learned a lot of things. I went through the emotional roller coaster. I read all your comments, and I tried to also reply wherever that I could. And thank you so much for the love. This is just the beginning, guys. I'm not saying goodbye. This is not a goodbye speech, but with this case, we're still going to look at what they will say on Friday. And yeah, it was a heavy one. It's still heavy on my heart because we don't have answers where Joshlin Smith is. But I've learned a lot of things about the law. I've learned how to be compassionate, to have grace sometimes. I've learned that you can treat people with dignity, like I saw in Judge Nathan. I think today, Miss Smith was shocked. Is this the same guy? When I said I wanted to go to the loo, he would let me. He would ask me, which jail do I want to go to? Is this the same guy? When I said, I'm sick, he would say, let us go for a break. Because today he came as a judge. He came as a judge. Yes, he might have acted as a father for the entire 35 days, compassionate, respectful, thinking about people. But today, he was nothing but a judge. He was not laughing. He was not playing around. He went for Kelly Smith. He said, you know what? I can't believe you were dancing. I can't believe you didn't look for this child. I can't believe you didn't care. I can't believe you were thinking of going to Spare with your boyfriend while there was a child that was missing. You didn't care. You didn't show concern. You were not anxious. He came for her. Do you hear me? If you're watching this case, this trial today, you would have seen her. I know you also had your high moments, so share them with me. And with that being said, God bless you and keep well. And until next time, God bless.